So, now I want to give you a second example to demonstrate in more detail that there's more to language than just a series of words. So, consider another couple everyday examples. So, I might ask you something like, "Who do you want to see?" Now, you probably realize that a lot of us, when we are just speaking colloquially, will often pronounce this by saying, "Oh, hey, who do you want to see?" Same thing, I could ask you, "What do you want to read?" A lot of us will say, "Oh, yeah, what do you want to read?" Now, that's perfectly natural to all of us, and you might ask, well, okay, so if a kid is growing up amongst a bunch of people speaking this way, how might the kid learn how to use language? And the kid, you might suppose, would realize, oh, yeah, there's just this general rule that whenever you say want to, it's always okay to just contract that to wanna. If you want to say want to, you could always just say wanna. After all, that's what everyone around me is doing. Now, I want to show you that, well, actually, though it seems like that's a pretty good rule of thumb, it doesn't actually work. And in fact, almost everyone who is a native speaker of English, where English is their first language, they do not follow this simple rule. So, let me give you two more examples, one of which follows this rule and another one which doesn't follow this rule. So, the first one, we've got someone over on the left here who's coming into a barber's shop, and she is talking to the very suave receptionist in the center there, and she needs to decide which of the two barbers over on the right she's going to get her hair cut by. So the receptionist asks her, "Well, who do you want to see?" Now, the receptionist in our case, we could imagine, well, he just contracts that one too, and so he asks her, "Hey, who do you want to see?" So she says, "Well, I want to see Kendra, the barber on the far right there." Well, that all seems all well and good, but now let me give you another situation in which contracting from want to wanna just doesn't seem to work like this. So in this situation, we've got a patient over on the left there, Sarah, and she's come into a doctor's office and she needs to see a doctor. So we might suppose there are several doctors in this office over on the right, and the receptionist in the middle there needs to talk to the head doctor, also in the middle, and figure out, well, which doctor does the head doctor want Sarah to see? Right? She's going to send her to either one of the doctors over on the right. She needs to make the determination which one that's going to be. So the receptionist asks the doctor, "Who do you want to see Sarah?" And the doctor says, "Oh, well, I want Sarah to see Dr. Smith, or I want Dr. Smith to see Sarah." Now, try and contract the want to in this question the way we did before. So the reception asks, "Who do you want to see Sarah?" That seems fine. Now, pay attention to how this sounds to your ears. "Hey, Doc, who do you want to see Sarah?" If you're like a lot of people, that just sounds like, ugh. That's just kind of yucky. I can, ask the customer who comes into the barber shop, "Oh, hey, who do you want to see? Which of the hairdressers?" But if this patient comes into the doctor's office and I need to ask the head doctor, "Well, which of the doctors do you want to see Sarah?" If I then ask, "Hey, doc, who do you want to see Sarah?" A lot of people are like, that doesn't work. That just seems off in a way that the first one doesn't. So now we've got a question. Why is one okay and the other one is just yucky? When I ask, "Hey, who do you want to see?" that's fine. But when I ask the doctor, "Hey, who do you want to see Sarah?" that just seems bleh, gross. So when I come back, I'll give you an explanation about why there seems to be a difference there.